Okay, so this is Redfirefly again with our third game of the season, I guess, for 3v3s. So this from NewbCast Gaming. It includes DeluxeWalrus, Redfirefly, and AngryAsian, and I decided to go Protoss because Protoss is my strongest. You can see here they're having fun. Making fun of themselves. AngryAsian was a little drunk, so anything that was being said was entertained. So as you can see here, lucky for me, I get to share. Did I really go to Zerg again? Yeah, apparently I did go Zerg this third game. Okay, so I went Zerg this extra game, and as you can see here, DeluxeWalrus does a great job, again, building outside here. The purpose is to be a defense and at the same time being able to go and assist his allies much quicker. I decide to go Zergling Rush. This is actually the game that I go Zergling Rush, get a bunch of Zerglings by 3 minutes. What possessed me to do this is because of the fact that Grethade asked me when I went over to his place to sit behind him and actually go over everything. And as you can see, I'm actually going to go back a little bit and show you this part again. But when my Zerglings actually get to the door over here, I was actually very, very surprised because there's no freaking defense, no freaking wall. My luck, because all of his allies here have a wall going on, and he doesn't. So I'm like, okay, sweet. And the best thing to do, always go for the mineral line. That is my gameplay. Always go for the mineral line and then go for their nexus, their command center, their hive. If you're attacking Zerg, go for their, not only go for their drones, but also go for their queen. Because the queen for Zerg is very important because that allows you to build your units much, much faster. Okay, so they take out my Zerglings with their probes, which is great. A lot of people who get attacked by Zerglings or get attacked by anything are like, oh my gosh, I'm gone. So I commend Caleb for going and attacking my Zerglings with his probes. That's one of the smartest moves that you could actually do for yourself because you can survive. It might hurt, but you can survive. This is actually harder for him to survive because I decide to attack him again. And I remember that AngryAsian was like, oh my gosh, you actually attacked him? Good, because I screwed up on my build, which is fine. And the cool thing is that, as you can see here, DeluxeWalrus actually has control of his allies' units at the same time. Great job for them. That's something that we actually need to work on, is sharing control more often, which is cool. That's great. So I have my second expansion going on here. DeluxeWalrus has his second expansion going on, and we're the only ones. The cool thing is that DeluxeWalrus actually plays for his team side and sends assistance to Caleb. As I remember this game, Caleb is far behind majority of this game. You can see here he doesn't have much to build on. He didn't. Oh, this is a big mistake on his side. 2 mistakes. One is that he queued up a bunch of probes at the same time. And 2, he is not utilizing his chronic boost to pull out those probes faster. 2 big mistakes. Especially early in the game. There he goes. Especially early on in the game, you want to not queue that many up at the same time for anything that you're building, because you can utilize those units for so many other things. Maybe at this point, that's all he can do. He's already far enough behind in this game where he doesn't even have anything to really build anything. That's fine. But pretty much for anything else that you do, you don't want to queue that much in the beginning of the game. The only reason I would queue more than that is if it's later in the game and I have a very steady economy. You can see here that I am starting to go air, just because I can, and it's crippled one of them far enough that it's a good enough deal for us. So I have 2 bases going on. I always feel sorry for DeluxeWalrus because for these last 2 games we've had this map. He's been in the middle, and he's finally going to expand. AngryAsian has expanded. Now our opponents here, only one of them expanded, which is DeluxeWalrus, and he's the one that pissed me off the most because of the fact that he said he said something about fucking yourself, I'm pretty sure. And AngryAsian was not really there in the first place. This is a bad thing right here for Owee. Because one thing is, you have too many probes here. He has a good amount of probes going on here, but he has too many. And they're all mining the same mineral line, and so they're not being utilized to the fullest extent. At least send some of them out here to mine back and forth. At least he's going to build a nexus right there, but where he's at in the game, he's built too many for just one base. At least he started expanding, but still, that's pretty late in the game. So everybody here is being controlled by AngryAsian, and he's getting ready to attack. Me, I've got my air going on, and of course I'm going to take out whoever is the weakest link. And the weakest link is blue. I'm sorry, Caleb. You were the weakest link in this game. I've had that happen to me. We all go through it. Obviously, I go for my 3rd base. At this point in the game, of course I go for a 3rd base. I always like to mass expand. So they do a really great job of attacking. I feel sorry for Owee. His units doesn't cause much damage because they're in the middle of all the Marines. By the time they get out, goodbye. They're gone. They're gone. See? They're leaving. And it's a decent fight here. But right here, Caleb is losing everything. He barely has anything to begin with. I'm surprised at this point that he hung out, and I give him props for hanging out that long, because you never know, the turn of the game can change. I've had games change where my ally lost all of his units and lost all of his buildings, and I just gave him control of my units and let him attack while I went and built new things. Actually, that was AngryAsian. He was really pissed off that I let him lose all his units. But we did a really good job, and we ended up winning in the end. So I'm taking out Caleb. Caleb's pretty much all gone. And we're doing a good amount of damage here. So DeluxeWalrus he's got a lot going on here. He's low on gas, and I think he doesn't care much about gas, especially when he here is massing Marines. 2 at a time, 3 at a time, which is fine. I'm surprised that he doesn't have any reactors on any of these so that he can build them faster. Perhaps that wasn't any of his original goal. Moving on here, I'm going to speed up this game a bit more. I didn't realize I was playing it so slow. Okay. Again, too many. Does Owee not know? Oh, he does know. Okay. Has too many probes going on here, and he's not utilizing them to the fullest extent. At this point, with the amount of probes he has going on, he could easily build another base. Caleb apparently is still in the game. He just, his buildings, his units are all gone. So most likely he is playing his allies. Yep. He is using his allies' units, which is a good thing. So anti-air is going up here for Walrus, and that's great. He has a lot going on. Turrets are very cheap to build. They're about 100 minerals, and they cause a good amount of damage to any air units that goes on. I do come here, and I'm just like, oh crap, he actually did build those because he knew exactly what direction I was coming from, which is cool. So I actually move around, and this is a mistake that is common. It's to not build defense around your whole thing. You build it off the direction that you think you're going to be attacked. But I'm intimidated enough. I go for his ally. This game, as annoying as Walrus was, DeluxeWalrus was the MVP of his team. I give him that. The reason I say that is just because of the fact that he caused a lot of damage, he lasted a long time, and he was smart about where he placed things. And I am actually annoyed with a bunch of sentries attacking my my mutas. I think at this point, AngryAsian got the wonderful idea of trying to mass sentries. He's like, whoa, they cause a lot of damage? I want to do it. I was like, seriously? You're hilarious. And to follow up my attack, you have DeluxeWalrus here going in and taking out Owee. Poor Owee. Seriously, poor Owee. Now, you gotta continually build. So I am obviously continually building. I decided that the best thing for me to do is actually go Banelings and Zerglings against Terran. He's already started to build his next base, and he's smart enough to build a bunch of anti-air to go against my my mutas. Very smart move on his side. So he lasts the game for just a couple more seconds, and then he's like, screw this, I'm not going to stay, I'm not going to play anymore. That's fine. Alright, so this is Redfirefly ending the third game of Season 6 Leagues for 3v3. I'm with NewbCast Gaming. Remember to friend us on Facebook and to follow our podcast. Alright, thank you.